You're thinking about moving to the Boise and Treasure Valley area? This is everything you need to know. We're diving into all the cities around Boise and the Treasure Valley area like Eagle, Nampa, Kuna, Meridian, and we're gonna be covering everything you need to know about living in the Treasure Valley area. And we're getting after it right now. Hey everyone, we're going to be covering everything you need to know about living in the Boise and Treasure Valley area, diving into Boise, the neighborhoods, the cities around Boise that make up the Treasure Valley area, like North End, like Eagle, Meridian, Kuna, Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton, and some really cool features about some of these areas too that you don't want to miss out. And you want to make sure you watch this video so you don't end up moving to the wrong area. And reach out to us if you are looking at moving to the Treasure Valley area. My name is Curtis Chism with the Chism team, and I absolutely love helping people relocate here to the Treasure Valley. I myself moved from California, from San Diego, and I absolutely love living here, and I love helping people move here too. So if you're looking to move, whether in the next 9 days, 90 days, 2 years from now, reach out. Let's have a conversation. Let's find out what your lifestyle is and where the best fit is for you, what the best neighborhood is. Is it Eagle, where you want to be close to the Greenbelt, close to the river? Or is it in Nampa, where you want a little bit more affordability and or want to be out in the country? So just reach out via phone, text, or email. My contact information is below. And let's have that conversation with my team. And we'd love to help you make the move here to the Boise and Treasure Valley area. Now, we're going to be pulling up the map here and diving into all the different areas. And we're going to get after that right here. All right, so I've got the map pulled up here in the satellite view so you can get an idea of where Boise and the Treasure Valley is in relation to everywhere else here in Idaho. And then we're gonna dive in to the specific neighborhoods and cities around Boise so you can get a good feel for where everything is at. I think it's really important to know where everything is when you're looking to move here so you can feel comfortable and just have your bearings when you come here. I don't like to feel lost. And so you get a good idea of where all the major cities are, the recreational activities, the lakes, the mountains, that kind of thing. So we're going to zoom out here real quick just so you can get an idea of where Treasure Valley is in relation to the rest of the US and everything. So we're going to actually drop back into the regular map view so you can get a better feel for it before I go back into satellite. So obviously Boise is right here in southwest Idaho. And this is the Treasure Valley area, which is basically high desert. So you've got Oregon right here, Nevada, Utah, Wyoming, Montana, Washington up here. So as we start diving in, you start to realize that Boise and the Treasure Valley area are actually really close to Oregon. So just less than an hour away from the Oregon border. You got the Waihe Mountains right over here. So we're going to go start diving into, again, the satellite view here. It's kind of bordered by the Waihe Mountains, and you got Snake River that cut through here, and you got the Boise River that also cuts through Boise. So Snake River is going to be more southwest of Nampa and Caldwell, kind of cutting through right by the Oregon border. And then you got Boise that comes down and flows through Boise, through Eagle, and in Caldwell. Caldwell, you also got Indian Creek that runs through. It's a beautiful little river. I would consider it a river, being from California, but they call it a creek here. And then real quick, so you got the mountains, you got the foothills here. This is the foothills of Boise. It's built right up against it. So you got Boise over here on the east side of the valley, right up against the foothills. Eagle is right here also against the foothills. Everything kind of moves west from there. So you've got Meridian right here, kind of right in the center. That's kind of the heart of the Treasure Valley, next to Boise. Kuna to the south. And then as you head a little bit more west, you got Nampa, Caldwell, Middleton, and you got Star right in between Middleton and Eagle. Now, as you head up into the foothills and into the mountains, if you're in Boise or Eagle, you're just 45 minutes or less. Now, it's about 45 minutes to an hour. You're into some absolutely incredible mountains. You got Banks right here. There's a really awesome little sandy beach in Banks, and there's a rope swing you can swim over to and swing into the water. I've done that myself. It's awesome. And that's just right, like I said, 45 minutes to an hour outside of Boise. You head a little bit further up and you got tons of camping in the Boise National Forest. And then there's also a great little restaurant as well, like a cafe. It has some beer, great hamburgers, warm apple pie, a la mode with ice cream. And if you head a little bit further up, you get into cattle country, high cattle country in the mountains as you head up here to Lake Cascade. And beyond Lake Cascade, you've got McCall with Payette Lake. So also amazing camping opportunities in McCall and around Lake Cascade. Now, you know, the interesting thing right now that some of the lakes have to deal with around here is the blue algae bloom. Lake Cascade this year had a very early bloom. It's warmer water and the lake is shallow. So it warms up and algae blooms. So it's not safe to swim in. And animals can actually get sick and die. So you definitely don't want to swim in that. Payette Lake, no problem this year so far. So you're good there, deeper lake. Lake Lowell down south. I'm going to head back. So we're talking about lakes down here. You got Lake Lowell. Awesome opportunities for boating, jet skiing, water skiing, paddleboarding, kayaking. And it's right outside Nampa and Caldwell. Nampa and Caldwell border it. So you got Caldwell on the north side of it and Nampa kind of on the south end of the lake. But it also can have an algae bloom as well. And actually it just started up here recently, so it's not safe to swim in anymore either. So you got to keep in mind about that when you're looking at the lakes. And also you've got just over here, you've got the Bogus Basin as well. So that's about an hour or so from the city, 45 minutes to an hour. Bogus Basin is a great ski resort. There's summer activities as well you can do. There's like this roller coaster type activity built into the mountain you can do, which is super cool. So definitely worth checking out. So those are kind of the local foothills around and the mountains. And then of course you got the Boise River, and the Boise River is a blast. The most popular thing to do in the summer on the Boise River is the Boise River float. So I'm going to be showing some videos here right now of us doing this ourselves in our kayak, but you can paddleboard on it, you can rent rafts, and they have a busing system where you start at Barber Park and you float down the river and then you get bused back up from Ann Morrison Park to your car. But you can start the other way too. You can start at Ann Morrison Park, bus yourself up to Barber Park, rent a raft, if you don't have your own, and then float down the river. It's super, super fun, and everyone loves doing it. Depending on the time of year, earlier in the season, it can be a little bit faster. There's 3 drops you need to be aware of. Later in the year, not a problem at all. But you know, if you got really little kids, may or may not want to take them with you. But it's really pretty safe, I would say. But people do drown each year because they drink. You're not supposed to drink on the river. A lot of people do, and they get themselves stuck in a stupid situation. A lot of people go on inner tubes here as well. And the problem with inner tubes is you have very little control, and you tend to get kind of pushed into the brush and trees along the side. And you can kind of hit your head as you go under these low-hanging trees. Now, the fire department does go through every year and try to trim back all the trees along the river. But you don't have to do the full float. There's all kinds of river access along the Boise River here. You can just, you know, like Reed Merrill Park is great park in Eagle. You just do a short little walk down this path, and you got the river right there. We go there all the time. Absolutely love it. So let's dive in a little bit more into the Boise area. So you got Boise and you've got a Boise Bench. A lot of people love living in the Boise Bench because there's a lot of mid-century homes that are very well-built homes. They are older. Some have been upgraded, but there's some opportunity to buy less expensive homes that are also very solidly built home. You got Boise State right here, right outside of downtown Boise. So if you're looking to go to school, you got someone moving there to go to Boise State, this is where you're going to be, probably going to be living right around there. But you got downtown, which is really, really cool area. And specifically you got North End. So North End and Hyde Park, you have a lot of really great little restaurants here. Great pizza place. A lot of people love hanging out here. It's super popular. North End is very, very hipster. For myself, you know, coming from California, there's a couple communities there like North Park, for instance, that are super hipster. It really reminds me of that. You got all kinds of old craftsman style homes here in the North End. Now, Boise is certainly going to be, I'll just let you know, certainly the more blue liberal side of the Treasure Valley. So certainly if you're looking for something more conservative, you might want to start looking into some of these other communities that we're going to be talking about. Now, this old Idaho penitentiary site right here. So this is super cool. This is not an active penitentiary anymore. During Christmas time, they have a whole Christmas light season. So it's super, super fun to take your kids to and go with your family. And they've got hot chocolate milk and cotton candy and all kinds of things. It's just an awesome light show that you can walk around and experience. Now, you're not too far in from Boise Bench to the Boise Airport. Boise Airport is super easy to get in and out of. I love flying in and out because it's kind of a small airport. It is more expensive to fly out of Boise. I always thought that San Diego was kind of expensive to fly out. Boise is pretty expensive. That being said, there are direct flights to San Diego now, if you book far enough out, that aren't terribly expensive. You've got Costco here in Boise and Trader Joe's. So Trader Joe's is going to be in downtown Boise, and then you got Costco over here right by I-84. So this is going to be one of your main areas if you're looking for a Costco or a Trader Joe's to head to. Now, as we move out a little bit, then we start heading into the cities surrounding Boise that make up Treasure Valley. So when a lot of people are moving to Boise, they're actually end up moving to one of these other communities. And I've got videos about each of these doing deep dives into these communities. So check those out if you want to know more very specifically. But we're just going to give you the lay of the land here. So you've got Boise here on the west. You do have Garden City that's kind of surrounded by Boise. Not a whole lot going on there, but there are some really cool breweries and restaurants there now. You got Western Collective Brewing. You got Talea Winery right along the river. So there are some homes, but not a lot of homes. So it's actually a little expensive there because there's not a lot of homes there. But anyway, so you got Garden City, but the main ones that people really are moving to when they're moving to the Boise area. First up is Eagle. A lot of people joke, I actually have heard this about a couple of communities. I've heard about Meridian as well, but I've heard a lot of people kind of joke that Eagle is built for Californians. It's like 90% of the people live in Eagle from California. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's kind of the word on the street. But Eagle's super cool. It's a mixture of mid-century homes as well as very modern new construction homes as well. And you have some really large homes you can buy here as well that are going to be in the $1 to $2 million range, but are massive homes, 3,000 square feet plus, half-acre lots right on the river or right on ponds, gated communities. But depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for a mid-century home or something brand new, something like in Lakemore or Two Rivers, then Eagle's really a great spot. It's certainly more upscale for sure. We love going there. We don't live there, but we love going there. Fantastic parks in Eagle like Reed Merrill that I mentioned earlier, and really, really great restaurants as well. So we like Caci, for instance, a lot, kind of an Italian wood-fired pizza, the great cocktails, happy hour, fantastic happy hour. 2-for-1 cocktails during happy hour. Also got Bodacious Pig there in Eagle as well. Now moving south is Meridian. So Meridian is really kind of the heart of Treasure Valley, and you got the village at Meridian. So we're going to talk about the shopping there a little bit because that's kind of what blew up Meridian. It was built in 2005. All kinds of little boutique shops and restaurants, but all your main like national retailers are going to be there. And they do have Lululemon right there in the village. I love wearing Lululemon. My wife does too. So if you're looking for a Lululemon in Boise area, Village at Meridian's going to be your place to go. But it's super cool. They've got all these water fountains. They got a little playground for the kids. Great little coffee shop right in the middle there as well. And they also have an ice rink as well that they have during the wintertime, which is super cool. So everything kind of built out around Meridian, around the village once that was built. All kinds of things to do in Meridian, though. You got several really big parks, Settlers Park. That's where a lot of the football and baseball programs are. And then you've also got Kleiner Park as well, which is right next to the village at Meridian. And then you got Warring Springs Water Park, which is super fun to go to as well. Now, a whole mix of homes you're going to find here, but mostly built in the last 20 years or so. And it's mostly built out for the most part now. Now, as far as if you head into South Meridian, that's where you're going to find some of the brand new construction versus homes that were built anywhere in the last couple years to the last 20 years. So you're going to have a mix of established neighborhoods that were built in the last 15 to 20 years and some brand new construction as well. Now, as you head south, we're going to head south into Kuna. So this town here is pronounced Kuna, not Kuna, as a lot of people might pronounce it. But you've got Indian Creek that runs right through Kuna, and you've got this really cool little downtown area, not quite like Caldwell. We're getting to Caldwell here in a second, which is super cool downtown area, but really nice, big, huge park here with that you can go and fish right at the river. There's some restaurants, shops, you've got a lot going on here for family activities in Kuna. Kuna has really blown up over the last few years. I was just talking to my home inspector the other day, and he actually moved to Kuna 11 years ago, and he's like, yeah, it was totally different 11 years ago. He's kind of disappointed how much it's blown up because it's been discovered. Now, in Kuna, you're going to have a mix of homes that are brand new construction, some that are a little bit older, but most of these homes are going to be built in the last 5 to 10 years. Now, there is a 4-lane highway going from Meridian down to Kuna, so the traffic flows really well through there. You're also going to find a lot of larger properties in Kuna as well. Now, a lot of tract home developments, they're going to be smaller properties, 6,000 to 10,000 square feet lots. But if you're looking for more of a farm type feel, like you're looking for a couple acres, you want to have room for all your toys, your side-by-sides, your RVs, or you want to have goats and horses and cows, then Kuna is going to be the place for you. You're going to be able to find those properties that are more in the 2 to 5 to 10 acre range here in Kuna. Now, we're going to bounce back up here and talk briefly about Star before we kind of get into these other areas. And this is going to round out Ada County. So Ada County is comprised of all these neighborhoods here. So Eagle, Meridian, Kuna, Boise, Star. Star is another fantastic area. If you're looking for slightly more affordability than an Eagle, it's not going to be that much cheaper, to be honest. I mean, and you can get some really big homes here in Star. And the cool thing too is you can actually get into the foothills here in Star. So as you can see here, it starts to move into the foothills. Got some video here I'll show you as well of the foothills. And you can get some incredible views from the homes here in Star, and some really beautiful homes, a lot of homes with the RV bays that you're going to start finding as you get into Star and these other areas like Caldwell and Nampa. Also right along the Boise River, not too far from Eagle Island State Park, which is an awesome state park to check out as well. But it's a really small, sleepy town. There's only about 10,000 people in Star versus about 130,000 over in Meridian. But it is rapidly growing. And so it's a massive influx of people that are coming in. The traffic can back up a bit as you get into Star and trying to get out if you're commuting into Meridian early in the morning or coming back late at night. Awesome community though, really cool communities here. So let's head over now into Nampa, Caldwell, and Middleton. So this is Canyon Country, or 2C as it's referred to a lot. So Nampa, this is actually where I live. And I moved here because you can get a lot more money, a lot more house for your money, both in Nampa and Caldwell, somewhat in Middleton as well, though Middleton's getting kind of expensive too. Nampa has a super cool little downtown area. It's getting revitalized, not quite like Caldwell. You guys stay tuned for Caldwell. It's super cool. We're going to talk about that. But cool little downtown areas you can see here. Holy Cow restaurants, super good burgers, fish and chips as well. Also a cool little brewery right here. With 2C Family Brewing. Also, Mother Earth Brewing is located here. They moved from San Diego, still operating in San Diego, but their main production is up here in Nampa. And the interesting thing here is kind of laid out. It is laid out on a grid, but it has the railroad that cuts through at an angle here. So you can get a little confused as far as your orientation when you're in Nampa, as far as your north to south, because everything's kind of angled a bit. But a lot of new construction here in Nampa, a lot of farms being converted over into brand new subdivisions. Traffic is kind of an issue in Nampa because a lot of 2-lane roads are here. So it can be hard to get around in Nampa during rush hour. It can take a while to get in and out of Nampa. So Nampa is located about 30 minutes from Meridian, depending on where you're going, 35 minutes to downtown Boise, and about 25 minutes, 30 minutes also to Eagle. So it's a little bit further out there, but not bad down the freeway. If you're close to the freeway, if you're in North Nampa and you get up on the 84, then you just head right over to Meridian. You're there in 15 minutes. Now, the next one up is Caldwell. Caldwell also has a lot of new construction, very predominantly by CBH homes. There's a lot of that going on in Caldwell, but also some custom homes, semi-custom homes at Sienna Hills, which is awesome. Also has the RV bays. You're going to find a lot here in Caldwell. But Indian Creek Plaza, and I'm going to run some videos here of Indian Creek Plaza, but this is awesome. It's been totally revitalized. There's something like 260 events per year at Indian Creek Plaza. They got farmers markets. They've got live music every Tuesday. They got the splash pads here for the kids. You can grab a drink at the kind of community bar thing they've got here and go and listen to the music, have your kids play in the splash pads. We absolutely love going here. It's super, super fun, and it's putting Caldwell on the map. So Caldwell has around 60,000 people, and growing. Nampa has 100,000, Meridian has 130,000, and then Boise is closer to 250,000 people. So there's kind of those are the biggest areas here. Caldwell still has a lot of rural parts to it, and it's just not too far out, and boom, you're into the mountains, and you can do side by side and mountain biking, that kind of thing as well. So awesome area as well. And then finally, rounding out with Middleton. Middleton is super small community right now, only also about 10,000 people. There is not much going on here. All your shopping is going to be down in Caldwell or Nampa or over in Meridian. So Nampa does have a Costco, but no Trader Joe's. So your 3 Costco's here are going to be Nampa, Meridian, kind of North Meridian, and then over in Boise. And your 2 Trader Joe's are going to be in Meridian or in Boise. But Middleton is a really small community, also starting to really rapidly grow, but there's some super cool homes that you're going to find here as well, like Valhalla Country Estates, Purple Sage, which is kind of on the border of Caldwell, and Middleton. Well, that was everything you need to know about living in the Treasure Valley area, going over in a high-level overview of the different neighborhoods and cities here. And so, maybe debunking a few things, but also pointing out some of the cool areas of the Treasure Valley area. Now, if you are looking to move to the Boise area, we would love to have that conversation with you and help you make that move. We get calls all the time from people just like you moving to the Treasure Valley area. Just like myself, I moved here from California, and I love helping people make that smooth transition. So reach out to us via phone, text, or email. Let's talk, let's have a Zoom call. Let's figure out what the best neighborhood is for you based on your lifestyle. Boise is all about the lifestyle, and you want to make sure you end up in the right area. Don't forget to hit subscribe and like this channel. We always got new videos dropping every single week about what it's like to live here in the Boise area and deep dives into all the different cities. And I'll catch you on the next video.